So I guess this is the right time to begin our project. Our project number one is a simple banking application. So till now we have covered only the loops, some basic concepts of the Java, and we are not right now deep dive into the oops concept, and that we will be doing after this project once we complete this project. So this project is simply a console based project, so no GUI interaction will be there in this project. Once we move into the advanced section of the Java, where we'll be seeing some Java applets or swing, there we can convert this project into the GUI based project. Okay, so for till now, I will be doing all these stuffs inside the console. Okay, so for this, what I have planned. I will write down the points over here. So first, we will display one welcome message to the user. Okay, welcome message to user. Okay, so that is our the first goal. Okay, and then let me just get here. Okay, for second number, uh, second we'll be looking into the we are giving 5 options to the user. Okay, so first option will be something known as deposit, where user can deposit the money inside his bank account. Okay, and then after that, the second option will be something known as withdraw. Okay, where user can withdraw the money from his account. Okay, then the third feature we will be giving is get previous trans transactions. Okay, so here in this feature, user will get to know what is his previous transactions, what he had done in the past transaction. Okay, and again one more feature is there, that is not a feature. It basically a menu which shows to the user. Okay, so here we are showing the menu to the user. According to that, by seeing that menu, user will give input to our program, and program will behave according to that input. Okay, show menu to the user. Okay, and at last we will execute our code. Okay, so these are some steps that we will be following inside this project. Okay, at first user came and see the welcome message. Okay, and then based on the user input, we will be performing some functions. Okay, that is deposit, withdraw, get previous transaction, show the menu, and execute our code. Okay, so I hope you understand the overview of the project. So let me just get into my IDE, and I will creating the new class name as banking application. Oops, sorry, banking application. Okay, and let me increase the font size. Yes, and I will include my public static void main. Okay, and inside main, this project required input from the user, so that's why I have to import the scanner class also, and I will be using this new keyword scanner system.in. So okay, basic stuff. Now I know we have the not covered started oops concept, so that's why uh, you will at some point you will not get some concept. So bear with me. I will be telling you what those concepts are. Okay, so this is pretty much about the setup. Okay, and now since we are doing all this, let me show you all this deposit, withdraw, we get previous transaction, show menu, and execute our code. All this functionality in a one place. So I guess this is the right time to introduce you with the oops concept known as method. Okay, so I will oops concept of method and class. Okay, so I will create another class known as the banking bank account, which is more appropriate, I guess. Bank account. Okay. Okay. So this is nothing but I have created one another class name as bank account, where I will be covering all those functionality inside this class, and we will create one object of this bank account class inside this banking application class. Okay. Oops, I have written this class inside class. That is error. Okay. Now it's okay. Okay, so this is one class, our public class, and inside which our main method is there. And this is another class where we'll be covering all the functionalities which are required in the project. Okay, so inside this, I will show you how this class and objects stuffs are created. So bear with me. And for first functionality of our project is deposit, so we will be covering that first. Okay, for so you are pretty much aware about this. For depositing the value something money inside our account, we need one variable which is known as balance, because we are updating that balance after deposit occurs inside our uh, account. Okay, and we will require another variable name as previous transaction, which will hold the value and the information about the transaction that happened inside past recently. Okay, so I will be creating those two variables, name as balance and another one as previous transaction. Okay, and now I will create one method. So this method doesn't return anything, that's why I have written void. I know you are not getting some concept, what is void, what is int. Okay, not int, you know what is, that is the data type, and void, and my method name is deposit. Okay, and my method is going to accept one parameter, that is amount. Okay, amount. So method is nothing but one particular instruction of the lines of codes which will execute, which will you require again and again for the execution, and then those set of instruction you are write inside of one method, and you will call that method again and again to perform that task. Okay, so we will be covering in depth about the methods, what are the types in the OOPS concepts. But for now, you know what is methods. Okay, we will be creating one method known as deposit, and inside that method I will be writing now. If I want to deposit my money, I have to check whether my amount that is given by the user, and this is the parameters that this method will be accepting. This method will accept amount that which is given by the user to deposit inside that bank account. Okay, so I will be checking whether my amount is not equals to 0. Okay, so this if the user inputs given input as 0, that doesn't make sense, because 0 cannot be added inside the bank account. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. So we are checking one base condition over here, whether my amount which is given input by the user should not be equals to the 0. Okay, if it is not equals to 0, this if condition is evaluated as true, and inside that I will update my balance. Okay, so I will tell balance is equal to plus amount. Okay, I will update my balance variable, and I will also update my previous transaction variable as amount. Okay, and so that tells that my previous transaction which done by the user is the amount, that means the deposit to the bank account. Okay, so this is pretty much about this and of the project. Okay, so in this video we will be discussing about the functionality which is withdraw and the get previous transaction. So we will be implementing the two methods. So for the one method is for the withdraw and one method is for the get previous transactions. Okay, so I hope you have watched the previous videos wherein we'll be implemented our deposit function method, and now in this video we'll be covering our withdraw and get previous transaction functionality. Okay, so okay, before getting into code, think about it. Whenever I want to withdraw some money from my account, what changes and first of all, what I required as the input to this method. Okay, so let's think about it. So for this, I will be requiring one amount, that is the amount of money that I want to withdraw from my account. So the amount is the parameter which we will be passing to the withdraw functions, and again one base condition should be there. Okay, so think about it. What will be the base condition? Again, the same base condition like we have done for the deposit method. That is, amount should not be equal to the zero, because depositing the ₹0 or the $0 from an account doesn't make any sense. Okay, so we'll be implementing that also, and I guess this is a pretty much stuff that we want to do inside the withdraw function. Okay, so let's just get and implement this withdraw method. Okay, since our method is doesn't returning anything, that's why the return type should be void. Void is the return type. There are many return types such as int, char, strings are there. So our method is doesn't returning anything. It is just performing some basic maths calculation, and it will returning some value to the user. Okay, not value. It is performing some task. Okay, withdraw. I will name this as withdraw, and as we have discussed, it will accept one parameter named as amount of money that we have to withdraw from our account. Okay, and again one base condition should be there, that my amount should not be equals to the 0. If it is equal to 0, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, and inside this I will update my balance, because after withdrawing some money, my that much amount of money should be deducted from my balance, that from my account balance. Okay, so balance minus amount. Okay, and after that I also have to update my previous transaction as amount. Okay, the minus amount. Okay, so I guess this is pretty much that we have to do inside the withdraw functionality, and after that we will be performing another functionality, that is get previous transaction. So this I have writing the previous transaction. We have to implement that method inside this class name as BankAccount. Okay, and so since get previous transaction, it doesn't return anything, so that's why I will write void as the return type, and I will write get previous transaction. Okay, wait guys. Okay, so sorry for the interruption guys. Okay, so where we are, void get previous transaction. Okay, so this method doesn't require any parameters and doesn't return anything. Okay, so inside this I will write one if condition. If my previous transaction value is greater than 0. Okay, when the value will be value of the previous transaction will be greater than 0 when we have done any deposit in our account. Okay, so in that case I will print deposited, and I will concat it with previous transactions value. Okay, and again one else if condition should be there to check else if the value of the previous transaction is less than 0. In that case, one withdrawal should be there for my account. So in that case I will write sorry, withdrawn, the amount should be there. And one thing I will do here is math dot abstract. Okay, and I will pass it the value of the previous transaction. So you'll ask me what we have done here. What is this math dot abstract, and we are passing previous transaction value to it. Okay. So this is a inbuilt class inside the Java. So here you can, if you hover the cursor over here, you can see java.lang is the package inside which math class is there, and one ABS method should be there inside that math class. If I click here, and here you can see public static int ABS. So what this method does, it will accept one parameter. Okay, so here you can see it is accepting one parameter, which is integer a, and it is returning something in int format. Okay, so what it does is, since the value of the previous transaction is less than 0, that is a negative one, like minus something known as minus 50 or yes minus 400. So we don't want this values to be reflected in our console, because negative values should not be there inside any account. Okay, so we are doing this match.abstract function, and it will convert that negative value inside the positive to its corresponding positive value, that is equal to it will convert the minus 50 as 50, and minus 400 as 400. Okay, so this is the work of the abstract function, okay, or method. Then here I will write else. If both the condition will not get satisfied, in that case I will write no transaction is occurred. No transaction is occurred. Okay. So I guess this is pretty much about the previous transaction method, where we will checking if the value is greater than 0, that is a deposit method is getting run inside our application, and if the value is less than 0, that is withdraw is done inside our bank account, and if none of this statement get executed, then else will execute it, and it will show that no transaction is occurred inside our account. Okay. So this is pretty much about the withdraw and get previous function. So today in this video we will be covering our next functionality of the project, that is the show menu project. So this is the main method which will hold the all functionality of our banking application. It will call all those methods which we have written in our previous videos, that is withdraw, get previous transaction, and the deposit, and it will perform all those functionality of our project, I guess. Okay, banking application. Okay, so in this video we will be writing this show menu method. Okay, so for this I will cover I will write another method named show menu, and this method doesn't require any parameter, and it doesn't return anything. Okay, so inside this menu, show menu function method will basically do all those printing stuff inside that console. Okay, so for that I will be declaring one character. Okay, so character variable name as option, and I will initially write it as /0. Okay, so that represent null. Okay, again I guess I have declared the scanner class over here, so that is inside this main another class. So I guess I have to declare one scanner, I guess scanner sc is equals to new scanner system.in. Okay, so I have imported the scanner over here, and now I have to create that console stuff here. Okay, now so I will just I will just shout one thing, that is welcome plus customer name. So this time IntelliJ IDEA is telling me that, hey, what is customer name? You doesn't have to declare it anywhere. Okay, so for that I will be creating one variable over here that is of type this is customer name, so that is of type string because customer name is in string format, and I will write let's say customer name. And one more thing I will be requiring is as customer ID. Okay, and I will also declare it as string customer ID. Okay, so whenever the object of this class is created, I want the user to give me the customer name and the customer ID so that I can print that name and the customer ID over here. Okay, so for this one more concept was there of the OOPS object oriented programming language, that is constructor. So what basically constructor does is it will get automatically called whenever the object of the class is created. Okay, whenever I create the object of the class, the constructor is getting called, and the constructor name should always be as same as that of the class name. Okay, so what is the class name? Bank account. And this constructor should accept the two parameters, that is the customer name and the customer ID, so that we can print that customer name and customer ID inside the console. Okay, and so the name should be in the format of string name. I will write C name because that is the proper convention, that is the customer name, and I will write string CID, that is the customer ID. Okay, don't worry about this constructor for till now, for just now. Know that whenever we create the object of that class, the constructor get automatically called. Okay, so this line number 15 to 17, and inside this constructor whatever I write, it will get automatically called whenever we create object of this bank account class. Okay, so whenever I create this object of this class, I just want to assign the customer name as the C name, which is given input by the C name by the user, and I just want that customer ID should be equals to the CID. Okay, so that is pretty much about this constructor, I guess. And now we can move to the towards our show menu function and start implementing this. Okay, so I will write again one south statement over here should be there, and I will write your ID is this, and I will write customer ID. Okay, so after this I want a new line should get printed on the console. So for that I will write just south with empty, nothing should be there, so that the new line should be there and which looks nice. Okay, and again I want one option number A. So we have discussed over here the options of that our application, that is deposit, withdraw, get present action, and the show menu. Okay, so we will be covering that over here. We will write check balance. Okay, then again one more functionality should be there, that is b dot deposit if the user want to deposit some money inside this account, and again C is withdraw, DRAW withdraw, and again one more south statement, and now option number D to get the previous transaction. Okay, and last option, if user want to get exit from this our application, we want our user to click E so that he can exit from our application. And so now one thing you should notice, this show menu method will display all these steps inside the console. Okay, and we don't want the user to get multiple times click on this run button and execute our this code again and again. So what we can do is we can provide one loop to the user wherein user can iterate this functionalities or use these functionalities again and again as much time he want, and whenever user has done with all the application uses, and then simply user can type E to exit from our application. Okay, so for this I will be using one do while loop, and inside do I will just first of all I will print one statement so it will look nice. Okay, uh, and then one more south statement should be there which will tell the user to enter the option. Okay, enter the option, and after that one more south statement should be there. This line number 60 and line number 62 is just used for the getting that console such a nice look. Okay, and after that I will be doing option is equals to scan sc is the object, sorry, sc dot next dot char at index 0, and I will be doing 2. I guess I can't do this here. Okay, let it be. We'll cover in the next upcoming video. So in this way, in this part, I have taken one input from the user as a string, and I will be returning the first character of that string. Okay. So I have declared here the character as a here option, and I am storing that user input inside this option, and so user can input E, D, C, A, B, A, B, C, D, E, any option that user want that gets stored inside this option variable. Okay, so now inside this I will create one switch, and for switch I will be passing option as a parameter. So we have covered switch. I hope you guys remember this, how switch works and how what is switch. Okay, so we'll be creating one case. For first case we will be passing A. We will be writing the functionality if the user clicks A, that is the check balance. Okay, for that I will come inside this case, and I will first of all print this line. Okay, so this line is basically just to give that nice look to our application. Okay, so again inside that I will write south, that is system.out.println, and I will return simply print balance is, and I will concat it with balance. Okay, and at last I will be printing again this just to give our application a nice look, and I will print one south statement so that one extra line should be there between the switch next case. Okay, so after that this is pretty much about the check balance. I will just write DRE Quebec, and for the next case we have case number B, if the user given as B, and I will just copy this statement over here just to give that, oops, sorry, copy, oh shit, sorry guys, B. Okay, and what is the B part? B part is a deposit. Okay, so when the user gives input as B, we have to deposit the amount inside our account. Okay, so south, the user enter the amount to deposit. Okay, so after this I will again print this line so that it will look nicer in our application. Okay, now what I can do is int amount. I will declare one variable name as amount, and using st dot next int I will receive that input from the user, and I will call deposit method inside this, and will pass that amount value to the deposit function, deposit method. Okay, and after that I will just print one new line, and I guess that is pretty much what we have to do inside this case number B, right? So what I have done, I have printed this on the console, and I have taken one input from the user and stored it inside the amount variable, and I have passed that amount variable to the deposit method, and we have written the deposit method over here. Here you can see, and this deposit method will update the balance of the in our account, and update the previous transaction value also. Okay, so after that, moving forward to the case number C. Case C. Okay, so what is case C? Withdraw. Okay, so we have to implement the withdraw functionality over here. So I will just simply copy this and paste it over here. Enter the amount to withdraw. Okay. After that, again I will create one variable name amount2, because amount is declared above, already declared above. Sc dot next int, and for doing the withdraw stuff we have written one method withdraw, and it will accept one parameter named as amount. So we are passing that amount that needs to be withdrawn from our account, and then again I will simply just print a new line so that it looks nice in the console. And I guess this is pretty much we have to do inside this case. Okay, so our next case is case D, and let me just look what we have to do. Case D, that is a previous transaction. We have to perform the previous transaction inside this case, and again I will just copy this because this is stuff that I required every time. Okay, and inside this I don't require this because I don't need to print anything inside the console or getting input from the user. That's why. And inside this, I will call the get previous transaction method, and this call will be go to here to this method get previous transaction, and this method will check this condition, and according to that, it will print that corresponding statement. Okay, over here. Okay, so I guess this is pretty much we have to do inside this case, and after that I will just print one new line and I will break this condition. Okay, now I have to write again one more condition, that is the E condition, that is in exit condition. What if the user write E? Okay, so in that case user want to get exit from this loop, so they will simply just print this statement, and after this statement we will do break. Okay, and this is all. We have handled all those cases, and we will one default case which we will handle, and inside default case we should do print something like when we'll get a default condition get hit, when the user will enter doesn't enter A, B, C, D, E and other characters. Okay, so in that case we just have to print invalid option. please try again. Okay, and I will simply create this. Okay, so I guess this is pretty much we have to do inside the switch. Okay, so we have implemented this switch. After that, I will write while, because this is a do while loop, and inside while I will check the options value should not be equals to character E, because if it is a E, that means user don't want to use our application anymore, and user want to exit our from our application. Okay, so this is pretty much about the show menu. I guess we have done. Let me just zoom out so that you can see whole method inside one view. Okay, I guess this is the, and one pretty simple mistake was there inside this method. I want you to think about it and let me know. Today we are continuing our project number 1, that is banking application, and in this video we will finishing it. Okay, so in our previous video we have discussed about the show menu functionality of our application, and I have told you that when there is mistake is there inside this method, that is, what if we are checking the cases for the this letter, that is uh, capital letters, capital A, capital B, capital C, capital D, and the capital E. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, so where we are, I have told you that one mistake is there inside this code, that is we are checking this case for the capital letters, that is capital A, capital B, capital C, D, and E. And what if the user is entering the small letters? Okay, so that is A, B, C, D, E. Because this switch is comparing that case using the ASCII value of that characters. Okay, so the ASCII value of the capital A and ASCII value of the capital small a are different. So that's why user will doesn't know what is happening, why the code is not getting run for the case number A, because user had entered the small letters, okay, instead of entering this capital letters. So this is the problem. So what we can do, whether the user will enter that characters in a small letter or the capital letter, we are storing that inside the option variable. We will convert that input into capital letters. Okay, so what we can do is, there is one inbuilt class inside Java which is character, and which has one function that to uppercase, and this will accept one character, and which character is this? Options. Okay, so what this will do, let me just increase the font size so that you can see clearly. This will get that options input from this option, and it will convert, apply the two apply not apply, it will pass that options or the letter, whether it is in a small or capital letter, to the uppercase method, and uppercase method will return the capitalized form of that character. Okay, so let me just show you this implementation of this. Here you can see the public static char method is written inside the Java. This is the document inbuilt methods which are written inside the Java, and here you can see what it is returning. It is returning to uppercase of that character. Okay, so I guess this will remove the problem that we have inside our application. And let me just, okay, so now I guess we have done all the part that we want to do inside our bank account class, and we have implemented all the functionalities inside this, and now we have to run this, and we know from where our program will get executed inside this main method. Okay, so inside that, this is class banking application and this is class bank account. So both class are different, and all our functionalities are written inside this bank account class, and now we have to tell this bank application class that there is a bank account class is there, and we have to create one object of that class. Okay, so how to create the object of the class? We will simply write bank account. Don't worry, for time being, just remember, be with me. I will cover all those classes, what is class, object inside our upcoming videos inside the oops concepts. Okay, bank account, and we will give a name to the object. Okay, so let me just write as bank one. Whatever you can simply give your name also. Okay, what is this? It doesn't make any sense. Okay, but normal convention is that you should give object name as that's you can understand by looking at the object name what we have done inside this. Okay, so we'll create a new bank account, and here you can see IntelliJ IDEA is telling me that this object will require two parameter, that is CNAME and CID. So I have in the previous videos I have told you that this is the constructor which accepts a CNAME and CID, and I have told you that whenever you create an object of that class, it calls the constructor of that class, and we have written our constructor over here, and this constructor accepts the two parameters CNAME and CID. So that's why we have to give two parameters to this program. So let me just give the customer name as XYZ. You can give your name also as a customer name if you want. And again, second parameter is CID. So let's suppose customer ID is let's suppose 101. Okay, this is the customer ID. Okay, this is pretty much that we have to do, and we can now the object is created for that class name bank account. Okay, so using that object we can call any method written inside that bank account class. Okay, so what are the methods written inside this is void deposit, void withdraw, void get previous transaction, void show menu. So one thing you tell me, or you decide which method I can call so that all the functionality of our application will be done inside that. So I think there is only one method which is there, show menu method, and which will implement all these functionalities of our application here itself. Okay, so I will call that method using the object name. So for calling that method we will write object name, that is bank1 dot. Now you can see show menu is there, show menu. Okay, so this will call that show menu method. Okay, inside this. Okay, so I guess this is pretty much that we have to do inside this project. So I hope this will run. Let me just run this. Okay, it's running, and now here you can see it is asking me to enter the number of terms you want in the series. Wait, I guess this running the previous. Sorry guys, this is running the previous class, Java class I guess, and now I have to run this Java class itself. Yes, now see here you can see welcome XYZ, your ID is 01. How this is doing, we are passing XYZ and 01 to this class constructor, and this constructor is assigning that CNAME and CID value to the customer name and customer IDs over here. Okay, and those customer IDs and customer name are getting printed on the console here, customer name and customer ID. So I hope you guys are getting this. And now it is asking for the option. So let's suppose we have to check the balance and deposit the balance and withdraw the previous transaction. Okay, so we'll go one by one. Okay, I will type A. Okay, so we will check. First of all, let me check the error that we have rectified over here. Okay, if I give small a and if I hit enter, the check balance should be there. So it was telling invalid option should be, invalid option is there, because I guess this is not working here. Why it is not working? I don't get it. Okay, let it be. I will rectify this error and will let you know in the upcoming videos. Okay. For time now being, we will give the capitalized inputs to our application. Okay, capital A. So now here you can see balance is 0. It's showing balance is 0 because we don't have any done deposit or withdraw from our account, and initially the value of the balance variable that we have declared over here is 0. Okay, that's why it is printing 0 in this console. Okay. Okay, now let me just increase the size of the console. And now if I do B, what is a B? Deposit. Enter the amount that you want to deposit. Let's suppose I have to deposit 1,000 rupees or $1,000 in my account. Okay, and then if I hit enter, now 1,000 rupees or $1,000 are deposited in my account. Now if I do option A, that is view balance. Now here you can see balance is 1,000. Previously it was telling that balance is 0. Now the balance is 1,000. Okay. 1 second, guys. So now we have checked the balance, that is 1,000. So we have implemented the check balance and deposit. Now if I want to withdraw money from my account, I have to give input as C. C, and I want to withdraw amount 1,000. Okay, now suppose not 1,000, 500. Now if I check the balance, for checking balance, balance is 100. And now at last I want to check the previous transaction that I have done, D. So here you can see if I type D, withdrawn 500, that is the thing that I have done previously. So that is withdraw for the $500 from the account. Okay, so I guess we have implemented all those checks. Now at last I have to implement E. If I press enter, now here you can see process finished with exit code 0. That is, our code will get ended and we will get out of this main method. Okay, so this is pretty much about this project. I hope you have enjoyed this project, and in our upcoming tutorial series we will be starting OOPS concept from the onwards videos. Okay, so thank you for watching this video.